Hey everyone, take a look at the legends that are available in the new Festive Season Campaign on eFootball. So 7 to choose on, and we're getting a selection contract. So in the pack, as you'll see here, 7 legends to choose from. We're getting a whole lot of free spins before we get our selection contract. So if I just bounce back briefly, you see here, this is when we get our free spins. There are some highlights as well. I will possibly look at those highlights at some point, but I'm so busy at the moment, I probably won't. Maybe it's after I get back after Christmas. Maybe it's on stream. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 7, 20 highlights. That's not bad, but yeah, only 7 legends out of 300. So your chances of getting one from one of your free spins are pretty slim. But you never know. 1 or 2 people are already getting some freebies. But the good news is, once we've done all our free spins, like I say, we will get a selection contract. Although I will say, I always say this with these types of campaign, if it's one of these ones where we get a selection contract before we get the last of our free spins, do not use your selection contract until you've done all of your free spins, because there's always 1 or 2 people who rush to use their selection contract as soon as they get it, and then 2 days later they say, oh no, I used my selection contract and then I got the same legend from a free spin. So don't be that guy. Just be patient, use your selection contract after you've done all your free spins. But with that, all that said, we've got 7 to look at here, and so let's take a look at them all. We've not done the goalie first, have we? And work our way up the pitch. So let's do that this time. We'll start with Kahn, and we'll work our way up the pitch to the attackers. So first thing to note with this Kahn card is that he's got goalkeeper spirit raw, whatever the hell that means. So basically, what that means, what they've told us it means, is that it increases the physicality of your defenders. I think that's the way they've worded it. So basically, my assumption with that, and it's a pretty obvious one, but I guess the physical contact attribute on your defenders will be increased. Whether it's increased by 1, 5, 10, or whatever it is, nobody knows yet. This is the first card that's got that skill. It's not been released yet. But yeah, physicality, so physical contact's a pretty obvious one. Possibly jumping as well. I wouldn't be surprised if jumping gets increased as well, maybes, but I'm just speculating there. But yeah, he does have that skill, so that's a big positive. He's got a bunch of other skills there, some really good ones, but the one he's missing for a lot of people is low punt. It would be nice if you had that, but you can always put that on him because you can, of course, train these cards. And surprisingly enough, he has a face scan as well. He's got unraven form, but he's on permanent B form, so it's irrelevant really. Although I do say, I've said this once or twice before, but if I've got a legend with permanent B form, I prefer inconsistent because then they seem to get more up arrows. But yeah, with unwavering permanent B, he's always going to be on at least a yellow arrow, quite often a green one. But there is one thing that goes against Kahn, and that is that he's not going to be available in any league challenges. So he plays for a fake Bayern Munich now because Bayern Munich aren't licensed anymore. So lack of league challenges for this guy. He's going to have to be your first choice keeper. He's going to be either in your main squad for divisions and so on, or maybe he's in the national team challenge, I guess, if you do a Germany squad. And yeah, what else do we need to look at before we go to eFootball Hub? The booster. So his fake booster, which is not really a booster because it's always active, which means it's never active. It's a stupid gimmick, but saving, which basically means that those are his stats. Ignore those green dots there. Those are literally his stats at level 1. That's all the booster means. It's not a booster, it's nonsense. I won't rant about it again though, but yeah. All that said, I think it's time to go over to eFootball Hub and see how good Kahn actually is. So, where are we? We are here. Right, so he's all boosted up already, and as you can see, he's pretty good. But when you ask how good he is, I kind of need to respond to that question with a question: who are you comparing him to? That's the question, because if you're free to play and all your goalie options are from like Player of the Week and regular highlight cards, he's fantastic. If you're someone who spins a lot of packs and you've got the likes of Czech, Van der Sar, you know, whoever you get from the legend packs or showtimes like Vanya Milenkovic-Savic, he's not so great. He's 6'2", which is a fairly average height for a keeper. And as you see down here, the arm coverage, 170.4. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. I'd say it's fairly average. Some would say it's a little bit lacking. The likes of Van der Sar are well into the 170s and sort of mid to high 170s. So yeah, arm coverage is not brilliant. Goalkeeper reach 93. It's not bad. Obviously, it's pretty good, but it's not amazing either for a legend card. So you're a free-to-play goalie, he's looking pretty good, but like I say, if you've already got some good options, legends and showtimes, etc., you know, in goal, then I'm not sure he's that appealing. Maybe it's that Spirit War skill. You can't see the showtime skills on eFootball Hub, but yeah, that Spirit War skill might be intriguing to you. As with all these cards, it's going to depend largely on how much the other cards in this selection appeal to you. But if none of them appeal to you, then it might be that Spirit War skill maybe appeals to you, especially if you've not got that many good goalie options. But yeah, for a double booster, epic legend, whatever you want to call him, for this type of card, it's not that exciting to me. Yes, the goalkeeper bonus is fantastic at 96, catching and parrying. 90 plus is good, obviously, but with the way the power creep's been going, we're getting a lot of goalies these days in Player of the Week that are at least close to that kind of level. Reflexes 92, again, it's not that amazing. Is it good? Of course, yeah, absolutely it's good, but is it, you know, double boosted epic legend type of card good? Yeah, but not amazing. You look at the ones they release in the legend packs sometimes. I think the most recent, was it Van der Sar, the most recent one? I mean, he's going to be way higher than that. So yeah, this is a good goalie card, but obviously not amazing. And like I say, reach 93, yeah, it's pretty solid, but the arm coverage is not great. So it's not a brilliant goalie card. Pretty much any goalie they release in one of the kind of 150 player packs these days is going to be better than this, I think. I think that's fair to say. But like I say, if you don't have that many great goalie options, he's obviously good. He's obviously a very good goalie card. Defensive goalkeeper playing style, I don't think everyone cares about that. I personally don't particularly like defensive keepers. They will just stay in their goal. You know, if your defensive line pushes out, the opposition puts a through ball in behind, he's just going to stand there and wait, and that's not ideal. I prefer an attacking goalkeeper to be a bit more proactive and rush out of his goal, but that's just me. A lot of people don't really mind, and a lot of people prefer defensive keepers. That's up to you, but yeah. But on the whole, just a good goalie. But like I say, it depends what you're comparing it to. If you've got a lot of really good, you know, recent legend keepers or Showtime, then he might not appeal to you that much. In terms of the way he's built, I wouldn't do a huge amount. As we know from Player of the Week, goalkeepers don't need to be able to jump, so we'll take those points back, and that one random point from up there as well. He's up to 12 in goalie 1, which is why his awareness is so much higher than the rest of his goalie stats. I think a fair few people might be concerned by the arm coverage, in which case he could take those points that we've just spared there and put him straight on his reach, which basically means you can increase it by 1. That's fantastic. But yeah, you can take a couple of awareness. If you want to kind of balance him out a bit, could maybe do just that. 10 on each of them. I think personally that looks a bit more appealing to me. Not going to make a huge difference, those last 2 points. You could get his jumping up to 90 there, going on to aerial. Or I'd personally be tempted to stick him on passing, actually. His distribution is not terrible. If you look at a lot of legend keepers, there's been certainly a Petr Cech card, I think a Dida card, maybe 1 or 2 others over the past year where their low and lofted pass stats are about 50 or so. They're really, really bad. That's not bad, actually, on Kahn. So credit where it's due. It's not great. He's not going to have amazing distribution, but certainly based on some recent legends, paid legends, those attributes are actually decent, to be fair, or reasonable at least. So yeah, in terms of the point allocation, I'd probably just do that, just shuffle around a little bit more on the reach and just kind of balance them out, a bit more reflexes. But like I said, I'm not going to make a massive difference. You're essentially looking at what I would say is a pretty bog standard legend keeper. Yes, he's got that new fancy skill, but compared to paid legends, he's not that amazing. There's no league challenge, so he's not going to be one that I think everyone's going to be too excited by. But it's going to come down to largely what options you've already got in terms of goalkeepers. So if you've got a lot of really good goalkeeper options already, then yeah, I don't think he's that amazing looking. But if you're free to play, if you're mainly relying on Player of the Week and highlight goalkeepers, then for sure as a free option, if the other cards in the selection aren't that appealing to you, he's certainly not going to let anyone down. It's a good solid legend goalie card. It's just not an amazing one. Just depends on what you're comparing him to, really. Right, that's our goalie done. We've got 2 defenders. Let's start with Albert Ferrer, the gigantic, imposing centre-back who stands at a lofty 170 centimetres tall. So yeah, he did play centre-back, no doubt, for Barcelona once or twice. I did see this guy back in the day, but he was very much a right-back. This is a card based on one of the less frequent occasions on which he played at centre-back. Got a face scan, of course, destroyer playing style, unwavering form. Again, doesn't really matter, he's on B form, so he's always going to be sort of yellow or green for the most part, occasionally blue. What is this fake booster do? Dueling. Okay, so ignore the green dots. Those are his stats. But we'll train him up in a second. Skill-wise, what have we got skill-wise? Okay, so like I say, he did play centre-back at times. This card is based on him being a centre-back, but as you can see, he also has right-back as a position. That's because he was a right-back. That's where I think the vast majority of people are going to play him. If you're up against someone who's got small, pacey strikers, he could be fantastic at centre-back up. But I think for the most part, this guy, like I say, most people are going to use him as a right-back, which is what he was. He won't have an active playing style at right back, but as I've proven in the video where I tested it out, if you play any player at fullback without an active playing style, they will literally play like an attacking fullback. So he's an attacking fullback at right back, or you can put defensive on him, of course, and then he'll play it just like a defensive fullback. So yeah, skill-wise, defensively got man marking, insert and blocker, styling, acrobatic, right spirit. Got a great set of skills defensively. Then when he's going forward, one-touch passing, pinpoint crossing are good ones to have. You might want to give him through passing. He doesn't really need it, but if you're going to give him any skills, I think through passing is probably the first skill I'll give him. I don't think there's anything else he really needs. cut by and turn scissors paint. You're going to use them much? Not really, but yeah, outside of that, some very good skills there. Could he do with outside curler? Yes, he's not particularly two-footed to outside curler, maybe just through passing and outside curler. I think those are the two skills that I would look to give him. And then, of course, if you are going to play him as a centre-back, and arguably if you play him as a full-back as well, aerial superiority could be a helpful one as well, and maybe even heading. Yeah, he's going to be terrible in the air, so yeah, heading and aerial superiority, especially if you're going to play him as a centre-back, and then at the right-back, don't think he desperately needs anything, but through passing and outside curler would be pretty handy. But we need to train him up and see how good he actually is, don't we? So, where's the hub gone? It's gone right there. Okay, so Ferrer, as you can see, fantastic defensively, fantastic pace, not great physical contact, and although the jumping attribute is decent, he is absolutely miniature, so he's going to be horrific in the air. What's the vertical reach? 258.1 centimeters. Good luck against the young collar. I've got the previous version of Ferrer that was also a destroyer, is pretty much the same as this one, really. Just, this one's +1 overall. It's just a slightly better one, but pretty much the same. I've tried mine at centre back, and like I say, it's exactly what you'd expect. He's rapid, he's really good defensively, but you are going to be lacking physically and aerial. I think mine's a bit worse physically, but it depends on how you train him. I've beefed up the aerials, the physical contact on my one, as you can on this one if you want to, but it's going to depend how you want to use him. You can definitely spare some of those stats from defending there, and as you can see, they've done another one of their silly inefficient builds. They've gone up to 14 defending, so we go too low on defending. It doesn't make a lot of difference there, but we're going to give ourselves 8 points. And if I just sneak one off lower body, that means you've got 9, and that means you can stick 3 on aerial straight away, up to 88 physical contact. I'd still like to go even higher than that, to be honest. I'd be tempted actually to go 11 defending, 12 aerial. And then there's loads of boosters that will get your physical contact up. Do you need to hit the 90 mark? No, it's not going to suddenly make a massive difference to anything, but you've got aerial. I mean, aerial might be the obvious one because he's tiny. If you're going to play him as a centre-back, I think aerial is the most obvious one. But then we've got aerial block as well. I didn't know you can get that as well. What else you got? Ball protection gives you physical contact as well. Breakthrough gives you physical contact. Counter gives you physical. There's loads that give you physical contact. Hard worker as well. Quite a few. Oh, physicality. Hello. Is that the last one? No, another one. Shooting. You could give him shooting if you really want to. Stealing. There's so many of these stupid boosters. Yeah, so there's loads of things you do if you really want to nudge that physical contact up. I've said it a million times. I'm not going to rant on about it, but these boosters, given a few stats +1, yes, it's an improvement, but it's so tiny. I really don't find it particularly exciting. I rarely bother putting boosters on my players. I just can't be bothered. I've got loads of spare booster tokens, but if you are going to use one, especially with the way they've improved boosters, because now with the booster you won't get goalie boosters on outfield players. It seems like whatever their position is, the only boosters you can get are ones that are relevant for the most part, and then it seems like almost every position there's one completely irrelevant booster, and maybe it's one that is relevant that you can't get. It's quite strange. I was having a quick look on stream a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, for the most part you only get relevant boosters. So what I would say is just shove a few randoms on him, and you should get one soon enough that's got physical contact, maybe aerial block, whatever it is. So it just depends how you're going to use them in terms of the way you allocate the points. So as a centre back, if you are concerned about the aerial ability, my personal opinion, I will do this, I'll finish off this build, but my personal opinion is don't even bother trying to make him better in the air, because even if you put loads of points in the air, I mean, if you went down to 8 on defending, like 4 goalkeeper 1, another 1 on aerial even, you get him up to 90 at jumping. How good is his vertical reach? He goes all the way up to 264, so you could probably just about compete with Michael Owen in the air. In fact, you probably couldn't because it's eFootball. But yeah, there's just no point. But I do think it's worth getting that physical contact up, because that is a really important attribute. There are people who don't think it's that important, who are happy for that to be sort of mid-80s in a centre-back. Personally, I think that's absolutely mad. I need that about 90 or so, especially on the legend. So I would get that higher. But like I say, I think personally, I would just get the aerial up to 12. Forget about trying to get him better in the air. Just get the physical contact up to at least high 80s, maybe use a booster to hit the 90 mark. Those last points, stick him back on defending, make him a defensive beast. And you've also got fantastic pace. So like I said, when we first started talking about him just now, it depends what strikers the opponent's got. If he's got Jan Cotter up front, I wish you the very best of luck. But if he's got the likes of Romario, Michael Owen, small, nimble, pacey strikers, this guy could be the antidote. Could be absolutely fantastic at centre-back. Outside of that, he's a right-back. So let's build him as a right-back. So to be honest, you don't have to change much. I mean, when you look at the stats there, you've got enough pace to play right-back, stamina. certainly got enough physical strength. He's defensively absolutely immense for a fullback. You could just do that if you like a defensive fullback. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people play a 3 CBs in the back four, or just have like 2 very defensive fullbacks. If that's the case, you don't really mind the lack of kind of technical ability, on the ball. To be honest, I'd be tempted to just do that. I mean, you could take a bit off the aerial there and make him even quicker. Something like that could be super effective. I wouldn't change an awful lot if that's the kind of fullback you want. You want a fullback to be an extra centre back and just be straight up defensive. Do that. You got a quick, defensively brilliant fullback there who could do a really good job. Like I say, though, if you do like a defensive fullback, you would need to put the defensive instruction on him, because unless he's a centre back in one of those weird 3CB formations where you got one fullback, which if that's what you want to do with your life, you can do what you want. But if you're going to have him as a right back, or if you position train him a left back, you can position train him for left back. There's something to keep in mind. But yeah, if you're going to play him as an actual fullback, he will play like an attacking fullback unless you put the defensive instruction on him. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, as a real defensive fullback with this kind of a build, could be absolutely fantastic. There's an attacking fullback, which is the way we'll play with if you don't put any instructions on him at right back or left back. Let's just see what kind of attacking fullback can be. Let's go all the way up to 4 in defending for an attacking fullback. Those stats are fine. Likewise, we'll do that on aerial strength. 80 is not amazing, but it'll do for an attacking fullback. Let's make him a bit better technically. See how good he is. This is how I've used mine for the most part. My Albert Ferrer as an attacking right back. He's been excellent for me. Yeah, I think you could do that if you want an attacking fullback and you want to focus on the athleticism and give him some real pace. Yeah, as you can see, absolutely rapid, fantastic stamina. Everything down the right athletically is good. Defensively, he's very strong for an attacking fullback. Then down the left, we've got him at least 80 plus in most of these stats here. He's got one touch pass and pinpoint crossing. Yeah, as an attacking fullback, very nice. If you're a bit more concerned about the technicals, I mean, I don't think you need to be honest. I think they're right, and it would take quite a few points to improve those, really. So I'd just leave him with that insane pace and just go with that. I think, to be honest, as an attacking fullback, very, very good. Like I say, I've used mine mainly as a right back, and that's an attacking right back because I do not use defensive fullbacks. And he's been very decent for me. He's not amazing on the ball. He's not. I've got players like Roberto Carlos and Philipp Lahm. They're better going forward than Ferrer. Ferrer's not got that kind of juice when you get him on the ball. He's not great technically, but he does the job, and he can certainly defend better than a lot of attacking fullbacks can. So yeah, like I say, as an attacking fullback, very decent indeed. I mean, to be honest, you might actually want to nick a little bit off his pace there if you consider he doesn't need that much. You could maybe beef up his aerial there, get his physical contact back up a bit as well. That might be an idea, but yeah, as an attacking fullback, can be very, very decent, like I say, from experience. And then you've got 2 more positions you can play him in. Let's start with right midfield, because I don't think it's going to take long. Can you make Ferrer a decent right midfielder? I'm going to have a wild guess that you can't. Let's just see. For a start, his attacking awareness is absolutely rubbish. I mean, yeah. Do you want this guy as a right winger? I mean, he's defensively great for a right winger. But that's not important, is it? You need more attacking awareness than that. He's not bad on the ball, but still dribbling 84 is not amazing for a winger. Tight possession 81 is definitely not great. Low enough to pass aren't brilliant. Not got much curl in his crosses, not got much kicking power. Yeah, are you going to choose this guy and play him as a winger? Is it worth the position trainers? Let's be honest, no. But we have one more position, and that is defensive midfield. So I actually toyed with the idea of making mine a defensive midfielder after I got Philipp Lahm, because I figured I didn't really need him, except for the Spanish League Challenge. So let's do a DMF build. This might be an interesting one. I've not done this on this version of him, although on mine I remember it was kind of borderline. It kind of looked like he could be decent there, but just not amazing. I think it was the passing, yeah, and as you can see there, the passing is not looking great. Well, is that it? Hang on then. Can we do much more here? Not really. So yeah, I think what it comes down to here then is that we've got 1 point. That's annoying. Where's that going to go? It could go anywhere. Just give him more stamina, I guess. Yeah, what it comes down to, I think, is what kind of defensive midfielder you like. If you like to play a defensive midfielder in like a double pivot, and you like him to do a bit of everything, a bit of an all-rounder, I don't think he's going to cut it because he's not going to be great on the ball. He's not bad on the ball, but he's not going to be brilliant. His passing is not brilliant. This is fully boosted. You could give him the technique boost. It's already on technique. That's handy. Is that going to make a lot of difference? No, that's why I don't spend a lot of time talking about the boosters. Like I say, stick a few randoms on, you'll get something that's half decent and improve some relevant stats. I wouldn't waste a lot of time thinking about them though. But yeah, down the left there, for some people those are fine. If you're like a real out-and-out defensive midfielder, It could be very decent, defensively quite strong. You probably would want a bit more physical contact, actually. But you'd have to sacrifice quite a bit from over here. But like I say, if your priority for a defense midfielder is just to be able to defend, you're not too bothered about these stats over here, then you could quite easily get the physical contact up a bit. Yeah, that looks a lot better. You can get his dribbling back up to 80. Yeah, so if you don't mind your stats being a bit low, as a real defense midfielder, just screening your defense and so on, could be very decent. He's got good skills there. I would strongly recommend giving him through passing, but outside of that, he's got just about everything he needs. Maybe his outside curler, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, as a real out-and-out defensive mid, could do a job there. In some kind of double pivot, though, like I say, if you wanted to be a bit more of an all-rounder, do a bit of everything, I do think he lacks a bit technically down the left there. So yeah, wouldn't cut it for me. But as a real, real out-and-out enforcer, bit in front of your defense, could do a job there. But I think ultimately what you got is either a very quick, very defensively strong centre-back who's just a bit lacking physically and aerially. So it would very much depend on what kind of strikers you're up against. Might be one way you could kind of train into kind of like this, just to deal with pacey, nimble strikers and have them on your bench. And if that's the kind of strikers the opponent's got, just stick them in the starting 11. But yeah, if you're up against bigger, more physical strikers, yikes, you're gonna have a problem with them. But yeah, as I've said a few times already, this guy is primarily a right back. That's what he was in real life. And if you train him as a right back, I'll go to auto allocation actually to see how far off that is my build. Miles off, because they've gone to an absolutely ludicrous amount of speed. So yeah, you can give him 100 speed, 100 stamina if you want to do that. But if you're not completely insane, you could make him a bit more comfortable on the ball so you don't keep giving the ball away in your own half, which I don't tend to do, or at least I try not to anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's roughly what I did before. I think it was a bit more speed than I did, but whichever way you do it, very, very good as a right back as well. Everything down the right is sound. He's rapid, great stamina, but defensively as well, really strong for a right back. You can make him a good attacking right back. You make him a very good defensive right back. So you've got a card here that's quite versatile. You've got one or two different uses for him. He's got most of the skills he needs. There's a lot to be said for him, but certainly in his registered position as centre back, depending on what kind of strikers you're up against, might not necessarily cut it. He could really get found out against big physical ones, but he does have uses as a centre-back and certainly as a right-back, maybe even as a defensive mid. So yeah, like I say, from experience, he's been a pretty valuable card for me. I've used him a lot, never let me down, primarily as a right-back, could be a centre-back. So yeah, it's certainly a somewhat slightly different card for a centre-back, that's fair to say, but I can see a fair few people can get a decent amount of value out of him. Could be a decent choice. And speaking of full-backs, we have Javier Zanetti. So this guy, I think for a lot of people, is going to be the pick from the pack. And for me personally, this is my pick. This is the one I'm going to go for. So Zanetti, what a player he was. Unbelievable play. Played for like, well, how old was he when he retired? About 40 odd, wasn't he? Face scan, of course. Attacking fullback. He was right footed. He's down as a left back. He played right back, left back. He played defensive mid a fair amount. Not sure he ever played right mid unless it was kind of as a kind of wing back, I guess. I don't remember seeing him as a right midfielder. Centre mid, likewise, he was definitely a defensive mid. I don't think he was a centre mid. But yeah, you can play him on the right or left of defence. You can make him a wing back on the right. Or a winger, I guess. We'll train him in a second and see. But yeah, you also got defensive mid, centre mid. Maybe a sneaky centre back. We'll see. What does the stupid fake gimmick booster give him? It gives him dueling. Yay. So ignore the green dots. Those are his stats. The booster's a scam. Pretty two-footed, unwavering form. Again, that's kind of irrelevant. It's permanent B. You can use him in the Italian League Challenge. That's what I'm going to be doing. He's going straight in my Italian League squad. And then skill-wise, similar to Ferrer. Okay, so this is, I think it's only the... Is it the second? No, it's the third, I think. I think there's maybe 3 cards in here that got a Showtime skill. It's one thing I forgot to mention with Ferrer. He doesn't have a Showtime skill, so that might go against him, but we do have one here. We got Fortress on Zanetti, which is great. So defensively, man marking, search blocker, sliding and fortress captaincy, fighting spirit. Not got acrobatic clearance, you might want to give him that. And then when he gets forward, pinpoint crossing, an important one, weighted pass, double touch. You might want to give him one touch and through. So certainly if you played him in any midfield position. But as a fullback, an attacking fullback, very well equipped. If you put defensive on him, play him as a defensive fullback, likewise very well equipped. So we've got a good searching skills there. Then we've got Fortress, which I don't remember what it does. I think it just makes doesn't it make your defenders all play better at half time if you're winning or something like that? But yeah, Fortress, you got a Showtime skill, hooray. Let's go train him up though. Let's go have a look at how good Zanetti is. In fact, I'm going to find out what that Fortress skill does. Wait a second. Right, so I've checked it with AI, and AI says that Fortress basically makes your player better at defending, but it is when your team's winning at halftime. And supposedly, when your team's winning at halftime, it boosts defensive abilities such as tackling, aggression, and engagement by 5%. So there you go. It improves your defending a bit at halftime if you're winning. So yeah, we've got a Showtime skill on Zanetti, but let's get to the important thing, which is finding out how good he is. And to do that, we're going to go over to eFootball Hub. If I can find it. I can. There it is. Right. So here we have Zanetti. Apparently I put a boost on already. Let's ignore that for now. Hang on. Right. So where are we? Yeah, there's auto allocation. Okay. So as you can see, he's pretty damn good. And that's one of the reasons I want him. I really like him in real life. Even though I love AC Milan, there have been some Inter players over the years I enjoyed watching, and this guy is one of them. Zanetti was an unreal footballer. So yeah, he's one that I'm really looking forward to picking up. The only thing I'm slightly surprised about is well, a couple of things. His ball control is pretty poor at 76. That surprises me. But then physical contact 78. I feel like he deserves a little bit more than that for a kind of, you know, double booster, epic Showtime skill legend version of Zanetti. You think I would expect him to have a bit more physical contact, but in fairness, he's pretty good elsewhere. I mean, the stamina, obviously, he's got great stamina. He did have great stamina, great balance as well. Good pace, really good pace. Defensively very strong down the left there. Apart from that dodgy ball control, pretty sound. This is a good, strong attacking fullback. Whether you play him left or right, he's pretty two-footed. He doesn't have outside curler. He doesn't desperately need it. So you can certainly play him on the left or the right. In terms of the point allocation, they've gone to 30 in low body. That's silly. You don't need to do that. I'm going to take at least one back from them. I mean, the stamina's already maxed out when you get to 12. I'm going to put those 4 points straight onto dribbling. And in fact, I'm taking a bit more off lower body. Hang on. Because I want to nudge his physical contact up a bit. Oh, we've almost got his ball control to 80. Is it going to make a lot of difference? No. Am I going to do it anyway? Yes. Should we just do it with a booster? Where's technique? I know technique does it. There you go. Bang, done. Hooray. It's all in the green. That's going to suddenly make a massive difference. No, it's not, is it? But yeah. You can at least improve it a bit, and you've still got great pace, fantastic stamina. Physical contact's been nudged up a little bit. Really good defense, attacking fullback. I mean, you could take a bit off defensive if you wanted to, but you've got points to spare. You can shuffle them around. You can make them strong everywhere you need them to be strong. It's a very good solid right back. He's got the bonus of the Fortress skill, and in terms of the core skills, you've got a good selection to start off with as well. So yeah, very good, strong right back. You can use him in the Italian League Challenge. You can use him on the right or the left. And of course, in fact, before I move into other positions, you might want to make him a defensive forward. Do you need to change much if you're going to make him a defensive forward? No. Are we going to put loads more points on defending and physicality anyway? Yes. So people who like their defensive forwards generally don't really care about these stats down the left. If that's the case, I mean, if you do, then I've done a build for you just now. But if you don't, and you just want to make him a defensive beast, he's obviously already really strong defensively, but you've got options. I'll put a couple more on aerial first. And then I think I would just nudge. Oh, hello. You can get up to 90 plus on all his defensives. There you go. Done. That's what I'd do. Good pace. Got a bit of physical strength there. Boosted that a bit. Great balance. Still got crazy stamina. 90 plus on all your defensives. So there you go. Stick defensive on him. Play him as a defensive fullback. Beast. Excellent. Do a really good job for you. Solid card that. Whatever kind of fullback you like could be very effective for you. Should we get sneaky centre back out of the way before we move on? Yes, let's do that. Let's just go to auto allocation. Can we make him a sneaky centre back? Well, it's the physical and aerial aspect that's a concern. So he's 178 centimetres, what's that, like 5'9", something like that. He's not tall for a centre back. He will get found out in the air. You need to give him heading and aerial superiority and acrobatic clearance as well. But even with aerial superiority, he's still not going to be great in the air. Could you boost him much in the air? I mean, defending has got up to 16 now. Let's take a bunch of those points back. Those stats are good still, but I think some people, if you spin a lot of legends and Showtime centre backs, you might argue those stats aren't so great anymore. They are still good, but yeah, again, like with all these cards, I said it with only Kahn, it's going to depend who you're comparing them to. If you've got a lot of really good legend centre backs, then you might not want to do that because you might not compare so well. But just to illustrate how well you can, how much you can improve him aerially and physically, which you do need to do. Don't know. Is it worth doing? Can you really make him usable as a centre back? Usable, yes, but for a legend card, is that good enough to be worthwhile? I don't know. If you've already got loads of fullbacks, right backs, and left backs, but you've not got any legend centre backs, that could be worth doing. It could be worth doing. I'm not recommending you do it though. You do need a bunch of skills, like I said, heading, aerial, acrobatic clearance. I think that's just about what we need defensively. but for sure he can make him usable at centre-back. It's 10 you 103 rated there, so he's obviously pretty good there. But like I say, if you've already got some good showtime and legend cards at centre-back, he's probably not going to be good enough for it to be worth doing. But like I say, if you're really desperate for a legend centre-back, maybe it's worth it. You've only got to increase his proficiency once at centre-back, although you do need a few skills. I would say he's still lacking a bit physically, certainly already. What's the vertical reach saying? 268.7? Not great. So yeah, one or two concerns there, but if you are desperate for a centre-back, and the only other centre-back in this pack is one who's even smaller in Albert Ferrer, it could be an option for you, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. And then let's just move on to other positions. So and of course you can use a booster to boost him aerially, which makes an absolutely ginormous difference. Wow, he's suddenly great in the air. No, he's not. Boosters are silly. Right, defensive midfield. Yeah, not bad. So that ball control becomes more of an issue there. It's an issue at right back. It's definitely an issue as a defensive midfielder, for me at least anyways. Again, if you really like a defensive midfielder to just sit in front of the defence and defend, you're just going to smash the ball downfield. You don't expect him to be able to actually play and, you know, control the ball and pass it. I mean, live your life however you want. If that's the case, I'll go at least a 4 on passing and on the ball there. I always call it on the ball because it's more than just dribbling, obviously. And then defensively, I'll do that on 12. I would definitely beef his aero strength up, because for a defensive midfielder, that's not great. 78. Get that up to 8. He's got great stamina. He doesn't need anywhere near that much stamina, really. But what do you really need to boost? Just that ball control. Let's just nick another one off lower body there. I know the speed goes below 90, but it's not going to make a big difference. Get that ball control to 80 at least. It's still not great at 80, but it's nice to at least get it into the green, isn't it? Yeah, as a defensive mid, I mean, for me personally, in fact, I was saying this is a build without all the technicals, wasn't I? Let's just forget that again. Hang on. Well, we've got 4 points left. Yeah, there you go. So you got a pacey, defensively excellent defensive midfielder who's going to run around and around and never get tired. Just the physical contact's a little bit low, and like I say, this is a build without too much on the technicals. So yeah, if you're like a real enforcer there in front of your defense, that could be an option. He's already fully proficient there. I do think he really needs one-touch passing through passing. But yeah, you've got a lot of qualities there as a real defensive DMF. Could definitely do a job there for you. And I'll do a build for a kind of double pivot type of role, and also centre mid. So I'll do a kind of all-round build here. So I'll take a bunch off defending, because we'll just go down to 4 on defending. This would be like a centre mid or a double pivot type of build, where he's not going to need to be such a defensive beast. I am going to leave him on 80 physical contact though, because you know you do need that, certainly these days in the game. The last year or so it's been very important. I'm going to go down to 4 initially on low body. Still absolutely fine for stamina. You don't need that much speed in the middle of the park. Could do with a bit more attacking awareness. I'll nudge that up a bit. Definitely need a bit more passing, dribbling, decisions. Where do you put the last 12 points? Down the right, he doesn't really need anything defensively. If this is a more of a centre mid build, he's fine there. So it's down the left. I think the passings are right. I think the big concern for me is ball control, to be honest. I'm going to go all the way up to 12 and dribbling. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to, if you're going to put a booster on, I think one that gets his low pass up by 1. It's probably going to make sense. Technique again. Again, I don't personally consider the boosters are really worth worrying about too much. But if you're going to put one on, something like technique to get his low pass up, I mean, there's loads of boosters. His passing is one of them. Offense creator, is it? Is that one? That's one. Yeah, you got loads, but something like that. Get the low pass up a bit. Not gonna make a massive difference, like I say. Though I'm not that bothered about boosters. A build like that as an all-rounder in the middle of the park. Is he good? Yes. Is he amazing? No. Is it worth doing that with a Zanetti card when he's a really good fullback? For me personally, not sure. I can see some people use him as a DMF, but I think most people, if you're going to use him in the middle of the park, you'd be more likely to use him as a DMF and focus on the fact he's as strong defensively as he can be. But certainly you do have the option of making a centre midfielder as more of an all-rounder. Could be an interesting one for you there. And then finally, as a winger, if you use him on the wings as a wing back, I would just do the kind of attacking fullback build that I did earlier. But if you wanted to be an actual winger and focus more on getting forward, I mean, he's still reasonable defensively there, even if you put nothing on defending. But I would leave 12 on dribbling, I think. I would just give him a bit more pace back. Can make him a decent winger, actually. I'll do something like that. Yeah, again, though, is it worth doing that? I mean, certainly you can make him good, but I'd say the ball control is a slight concern. Attacking whereas I'd like to be a little bit higher, maybe. Can't shoot to save his life. His crossing won't be amazing. He's got pinpoint crossing, but he's got no curl. His kicking power's not amazing. So, yeah, I don't think his crossing is going to be that amazing. If you're playing him off the left wing, cutting inside, he's not going to have a great shot on him. You need to give him one touch and through, and his passing would be good, actually, for a wide man. So, yeah, you could shuffle the points around and make it come up with a decent kind of winger build, whether it's left wing or probably more likely right wing, where he's already fully proficient. He'd have a reasonable cross on him, but like I say, with Lofted not being too amazing, no Kahn, not a great deal of kicking power, I don't think it's gonna be too amazing for kind of cross spamming, putting a lot of crosses in. So yeah, he doesn't look too exciting to me as a winger, but you've got the option. I'll just leave on auto allocation now though. So yeah, you got the Fortress skill, an Italian League challenge. He's versatile, and whether you use him as an attacking fullback or a defensive fullback, he looks really, really strong. This is a good choice for me. I think this is definitely going to be one of the more popular cards out of this selection. And you've got the bonus of the fact that you can play him as a centre back if you really wanted to. Likewise, defensive mid centre, maybe even as a winger. But like I say, I do personally think this card's going to be one that the vast majority of people will use as a fullback. He'll be very capable on the right or the left. Right-footed, but pretty two-footed. He's got that Showtime skill, and yeah, it's a very good fullback card. This is going to be the choice for me if I don't get him on a free spin, and I imagine for a fair few other people he will be as well. So yeah, it's a really good, solid fullback card. That. Right, got a couple of midfielders now, and of course Xabi Alonso's in the pack. If it's a free selection, you know Xabi Alonso's going to be in there, just like Kahn. So. Got a face scan, surprisingly enough. Orchestrated DMF. Unwavering again, B form, so he's permanently going to have yellow or green, occasionally blue arrows. What does the fake stupid gimmick booster give him? Those ones. Those are his stats at level 1. And skill-wise, as you'd expect, loads of passing stuff. He's got a couple of defensive ones, so a lot of orchestrators, they just give him loads of stuff on the ball just to make him really good at passing and so on. Quite often orchestrators don't get anything really defensively, but he does have interception and block, and those are two really important ones for a DMF. It would be nice if you have man marking and fighting spirit as well, but we've got two good ones at least, so it's going to depend where you're playing. But if you're playing as a DMF, like I say, I would strongly recommend you give him man marking and fighting spirit, but we've got interception and blocker there. And yeah, as you can see, we've got all the passing skills. I don't think he's lacking any except, oh no, Lloyd Loftus is there. Has he got all the passing skills? Looks like it. No Showtime skill though, so a bit of a shame maybe he's not got phenomenal or visionary or game changing. I think those are the only passing Showtime skills, aren't they? But yeah, well, at least in terms of kind of core skills, the basic ones, he's got all the passing ones there. That's going to be what he's good at. Obviously, he's going to be all about passing and playmaking, Xabi Alonso, but let's go and train him up. Let's go to the hub. Where's the hub? There's the hub. There's Xabi Alonso. Is that auto allocation? I was playing around with him just before I start recording. Yeah, so as you can see, he's absolutely fantastic at passing, and for some reason, he's absolutely insanely good at defending. Was he that good at defending in real life? No. I'm not saying it's bad, but wow. I feel like he deserves a bit more on the ball. Maybe he's not so much in defending, but that's easily done because you can just go like that and like that. There you go. There's Xabi Alonso, much more realistic. There you go. That's my Xabi Alonso review. No. So we've got a couple of positions there. Let's start with DMF. We'll start with the defensive build. Let's just jump straight back to the auto allocation there. You don't even need that much on passing. If he's going to sit in front of your defense and be more defensive, I mean, he's gone to 13 defending. Let's not be silly about it, but let's give him some more physical strength, though. That's definitely worth doing. Wow. What's going on there? 85 stamina? Hello. We need to do some work there then. Okay, hang on a minute. We've got to spare some points. So is it worth taking points of passing? You can spare them, but there's only 4 on there. The first 4 is 1 each. Don't think it's worth it. We'll leave 4 on passing. How high can we get his stamina? We're going to have to go back down a bit on aerial, I think. Yeah. I think I'll do that. And then maybe just, if you really want to get that stamina to the 90 mark, you use a booster. But yeah, surprised his stamina so low. I mean, I don't remember him having amazing stamina, but on a kind of double booster, epic, big time, legend, showtime, whatever you call these cards, I forget what they're all called these days, but yeah, on a card like this, you'd expect more stamina. So yeah, I would say you do need to shuffle a few points around and get that stamina up a little bit wherever you're going to use him. You need that on midfielders. You don't want midfielders getting tired late in the game, especially defensive midfielders. But yeah, we have got that stamina up a bit. It's at least at a decent level now. Defensively, 90% all of them, which is great. We've got a bit more physical strength on him. He's okay on the ball, even if he's not amazing. The passing is obviously very good. So yeah, as a DMF, screening a defense, pretty decent. You might argue could do with being a bit stronger physically, but it's hard to really get those points because, as you can see, the only place you've really put a lot is lower body. We need that stamina. So then all you've got is defending an area. Do you want to dip lower on defending? I guess probably not. So yeah, certainly very capable as a DMF. Like I say, though, I'll give him man marking and fighting spirit. And then I think you're well sorted. Could be very effective at a DMF. I have used him myself, Xabi Alonso. I've got one of the, I've had him at least twice, I think. The one I've got now is, I think, is it this one? I think it might be this one, actually. I think it was either this one or the one before it. I got the one from the pack with Rivaldo and Beckham in it. I didn't particularly want it because I'm not really a big fan of his, and I've got to say, in game, is he good? Yes. Is he effective? For sure he's effective. When our sim matches in the background, he's great, but he doesn't feel that amazing on the ball. He does feel a little bit clunky. Not too clunky. He's not horrible, but he's not as smooth. He's not as fluid as you might like a midfielder to be. So, yeah, if you like your players to be comfortable on the ball, he might not be for you. But if you just want your midfielders, especially your orchestrators, to be able to just get on the ball and pick a pass, and you know, whether they're creating chances further up the pitch or just spraying accurate passes around, he's great at that. He's got brilliant passing, Xabi Alonso, and apparently he's brilliant at defending as well. So yeah, he's definitely got some qualities. But we'll do a slightly different build now. Before I do more of an all-round build and focus more on the passing and the technicals, so let's just rule out whether you can make him a sneaky centre-back, because you've got to do that. You know I'm going to do it. And to be fair, I mean, look at that passing for a centre-back. Yeah, he's not bad. It's just that physical contact, really. And some people might argue at this point in the game that amount of pace is slightly lacking. I think a year or two ago you said the pace is fine. Now, maybe slightly slow. 16 defending. We've got some points to spare here. Hang on. Can we get his aerial up a bit? Yeah. Can we get him a bit more pace? Yeah. Hang on. Get that speed up to 80. I tell you what, that's not a bad centre-back. He's 6 foot tall. He doesn't have aerial superiority, of course. And the jumping is not amazing, even if he got to 12 in aerial. So, bit of an aerial concern there, but you can get his physical strength to a decent level. He's going to be pretty good defensively. His pace is okay. Some might disagree with that. Like I say, you might feel he needs a bit more pace, but I would certainly say his pace is at least okay, even if it's not amazing. Stamina's fine for centre-back. And then down the left, on the ball for a centre-back, he's going to be absolutely excellent. You do not get many centre-backs who are that good on the ball. Certainly with the passing, he's going to have fantastic passing for a centre-back. So, yeah, am I recommending you do this with Xabi Alonso? No. Do I think he'd be amazing as a centre-back? No. Certainly there are some recent legend centre-backs who've got better stats defensively. There's going to be a concern over in the air, but does he compensate enough for that with the fact that he's going to be absolutely fantastic on the ball for a centre-back? Some might say, yeah, it could be an interesting option. So, yeah, like I say, I'm not recommending you do that. But as a ball-playing centre-back, you could certainly do worse. If you get him from one of your free spins, you don't need a legend, you know, centre mid or defensive mid. Could be a way to use him. Just something to consider at least. Like I say, I'm not exactly recommending that. But, like I say, we'll do a less defensive build now. We've covered DMF and sneaky centre-back. Let's get to centre midfield. Let's just see what auto allocation says of centre mid, shall we? Yes. So auto allocation says 101 low pass. Interesting. Not sure you need that. Certainly when you've only got 85 stamina. Let's just rectify that latest awful build by eFootball. Up to 12 lower body. There you go. Stamina 90. There, you're fine there now. He's better on the ball than he was with the auto allocation. Anything else we want to do? Could do a bit more balance. But where are we going to spare the points from? Passing. It's not just dribbling up one. And then balance. Yeah, I mean, you can't get the balance too high, but like I say, he does feel a little bit clunky no matter what. He's never going to feel brilliant on the ball. I'm actually going to nick one back from dexterity just because I know you can then use those 2 points to get into the 80 mark for physical contact. I think that's probably a more efficient way of doing it. I think as an all-rounder, either in a double pivot or as a centre midfielder, I think that could be very nice. He's defensively still quite strong there. Down the right, yes, the balance isn't great, and even the physical contact's not brilliant. I think a fair few people would like it even more than that as a centre mid, but apart from that, we've at least got his stamina up. And then down the left, we've made him more comfortable on the ball there. Passing, we've nicked a load of points of passing, but still, I don't think you need to go much higher than that for low pass. If you really want to, you can, of course. If you're on PA2, PA3, maybe you might feel you need to. PA1, or especially if you use Smart Assist, I mean, you don't need anything on passing, do you? I mean, you don't need to worry about the stats, just auto-allocate and let the game do it for you, but yeah, as an all-rounder, playmaking from deep or as a centre mid, very, very effective. Could be a very good card to have. Like I say, I mean, look at that kicking power as well, actually. It's a shame his finishing is not a bit higher because he's got long range shooting. That kicking power, he's got some serious volley behind his shots. But yeah, like I say, in my experience, and I think most people say the same, he doesn't feel that nice on the ball. He's certainly not a dribbler. He's a little bit clunky, but with that passing he's got and on all the attributes he's got, the fact he's got the bonus of being very good defensively, yeah, it could be a very effective one. Attacking midfield? This could be interesting. Let's just see. Hang on. Give him a few points on finishing at least. Well, you can always get an 80 attacking awareness. That's a shame. You can do that with a booster, can't you? Right, what booster gives me attacking awareness? Offense creator. That's going to give me, isn't it? Yes, there you go. There's probably a bunch. I think shooting does, isn't it? Or striker's instinct. Striker's instinct. Let's leave on offense creator. 99 kicking power. So the finishing's still not brilliant, but if you're careful enough with his shooting, he could certainly score some goals for you. You can absolutely welly the ball. Great passing. He's going to be comfortable on the ball. Got the attacking awareness up to 80. Still got a bit of defensive ability and interception and blocker. And a nice bonus to have if he did play someone, if he, on an attacking midfielder. So yeah, still going to be a little bit clunky on the ball. Still not got amazing finishing. Still not got great balance. But there's a lot of quality there. You would need to use a position trainers, at least one, to make him an attacking midfielder. You might need to use 100 because the way position trainers work is absolutely rubbish. But you got the passing. You might want to give him 1 or 2 more shooting skills. Could be pretty effective as an attacking midfielder. That could be an option for you. Again, just depends on what you've got in your squad and so on. But could be an option for you. Can we make Xabi Alonso a winger? I don't think he's nimble enough to be a left mid, really. But as a right mid, certainly. Cross-spam Xabi Alonso? Let's do it. In fact, I think we've done it because I don't think you can really make him much quicker, can you? Yeah, there you go. There's cross-bound Xabi Alonso. So you'd need to use, I would estimate, in the region of 700 position trainers to make him a fully proficient right midfielder. But you've got pinpoint crossing, and even though he's a bit slow, you could make him a cross-bounder because his crossing will be excellent. With lofted 91, loads of curl, loads of kicking power, pinpoint crossing skill, yeah. If you really want to make Xabi Alonso a cross-bounder, you could do, but he's not going to be very quick or very nimble. But I guess you have that option if you really want to do that. But wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, I think for the most part, we'll leave him on auto allocations of DMF, even though I didn't really like that auto allocation build. There's different ways you can do it. Whatever you do, you can very easily give him insanely good passing. But you can also easily nick a few points from there and elsewhere and make him better in other areas. You do need to beef his stamina up a bit. You might want to improve his balance a bit because he is a little bit clunky. You might want to make him a bit better on the ball as well. But you've got points to spare there. You can make him a very solid defensive midfielder. You can make him a very good all-rounder with some fantastic passing. And you can even make him a very interesting ball-playing centre-back. So there's a few options you've got there with this card. I think he's going to be one of the least popular ones in this pack because we've had 1 or 2 free Xabi Alonso's before. We've had at least 2. I think maybe like 3 or even 4 before. I wish they'd give us the same ones in these free packs multiple times. But he is a good card. Like I said, I think he's probably one of the least exciting in the pack because you've had free ones before. And there are some other good choices in here. But if you get him from a free spin or if you're looking at all the options and no one else appeals, there's 1 or 2 ways you can use him. He's definitely very good. It just depends what you want. Because like I say, if you want someone who's smooth and silky on the ball, not your guy. But if you want somebody who can play, make and defend, he's got a lot of qualities. You do need to shuffle the points around to beef him up 1 or 2 areas, like I say. But defensive mid, more of an all-rounder centre mid or even centre back, attack midfield as well. A few ways you can use him. Might not be the most exciting choice in this pack, but could be a very effective one for a lot of people. So our other midfielder is my boy Stefano Fiore. So face scan, whole player right midfielder. He's an interesting one, this guy. Unwavering form again, very 2-footed. He's fully 2-footed, in fact. B form again, unwavering. So yeah, the form is always going to be yellow or green, sometimes blue. What does the stupid fake booster give you? Technique, that's technique. Called it. Bosh. So yeah, on the ball and low pass get boosted by 1. Happy days or 2, whatever it is. Yeah, 2. But yeah, it's always active, so it's never active. It's a stupid gimmick. Those are the stats at level 1. What skills we got? Scissors, soul control. We got long range curler, rising shot, long range shooting, first time shot. Got a bunch of shooting skills. What's his finishing like at level 1? Ooh, 80 at level 1. Hello. 1 touch pass and 3 passing. Outside go trap back. You got some very nice skills there. Certainly end product. That's pretty much a deal with this guy. Like I say, I like this guy. I got him last year. He was in the that disgusting 5,000 player pack with Gareth Bale in. I got him from my free spin. That was in that week or 2, and I just had insane luck. I kept getting Hail Marys off my free spins. Got this guy. I remember I was hoping for Andy Cole from that pack, and when I saw I got a legend off the spin, I got excited. And then when I saw it was Fiore, I got disappointed. But I've ended up not being disappointed because I've used him loads and I like him. He's good. But it depends what you want because he's all end product. He's not the silkiest on the ball. Yes, he's got good on the ball attributes. Let's just jump over to the hub actually and we'll show you his stats while I'm talking about him. Hang on a minute. There he is. Right, so as you can see, yeah, he is good on the ball. But he doesn't feel that silky, he's not got a low center of gravity or anything. You would think looking at the stats, he'd be great on the ball. He doesn't feel that smooth or silky, but he does feel good. But I think for those of you who like the real silky smooth dribblers, the likes of, I don't know, Ronaldinho and Messi, whoever else, I don't think he's quite going to be who you want necessarily. But I don't want to sound like I'm being negative, because he doesn't feel bad on the ball. He does feel nice on the ball. But yeah, you might just need to give him a few skill moves, you know, because all he's really got is scissors feint. But he is all about the end product. He's very effective for me. He's a right footer on the right hand side. You can position train it for left wing forward. If you take one look at this guy, you see he's a right footed right winger and think, well, that's not what I want, because you like inverted wingers. Position train him. He won't have an active playing style there, but in my experience, that's fine. You can make him a left wing forward. And as you'll see when I start shuffling some points around, you can make him very decent there. But yeah, like I say, in my experience, he's not the best for dribbling and doing all his skill moves, your double touches, Marseille turns, all the rest. But he's not bad by any means. It's just he doesn't feel like he's quite got that juice. That's the one where people use a lot. He's not really got that juice as a dribbler. But he's quick. He is good on the ball. He's got a bit of end product. And with that whole player playing style from right midfield, he's been very effective for me. I really like him. You know, he's one of these cards, like I say, when I go for my free spin, I was thinking, okay, it's not who I wanted, but he's free. I'll give him a try, I guess. I've used him loads. He's one of my main right midfielders. If I'm building a squad where I just want to have fun, I'm playing for the vibes, I don't always pick him. But if I'm playing a squad, you know, I'm putting a squad together to try and win matches, I need to get it done in the Italian League Challenge. Just want to get my coins and then run for the hills. He plays most games. He's really good. He's a very good solid card for me. So yeah, we'll do a couple of builds here. We do have a few ways you can use him. Down the right, like I said, down the left, you can use him through the middle as well, at least an attack midfielder. So let's just start as a right midfielder. Do you need to do much? Not a lot, really. The one thing I would say is you might want to increase his passing a bit and give him pinpoint crossing, because as a right footer on the right hand side, you will get into positions where you want to whip a cross in. 80 lofted pass, 80 curl. Yes, he's got great kicking power, but the lofted pass and curl are not amazing. He doesn't have pinpoint crossing, so as it is, his crossing is not be great. I've given my pinpoint crossing. I used to do a lot more crossing than I do these days, but it still is useful to have that as a right footer on the right wing. What you could do is you could just nick a couple of points from elsewhere, and I'll just show you how good you can make his crossing. Is that about it? Probably. Yeah. That's roughly what I've done with mine, I think. In fact, I think mine's more like auto allocation at the moment. I've done a few different builds on him, but yeah, you can improve his lofted a bit. If you did that, with pinpoint crossing, his crossing still won't be amazing, but it'll be decent. So that might be a consideration, depends how you're going to use him. But with the whole player playing style, he will drift inside a bit. He will get into some interesting positions. My Fiore for me it just always seems to pop up in those positions around the kind of right side of the box. He kind of creeps inside, and when I'm getting into the box and I get creating goal scoring opportunities, he's so often there. He so often pops up with a pass, a cross, or a shot. He's been really tidy, really effective. Makes good movements for me. He's got that end product. And as I just touched on before we come over to the hub, that finishing there, only 4 points on shooting and fully boosted, he's up to 87 finishing. For a winger, that is excellent. So you do have that when he does drift inside. He does get into those good attacking positions, and he's got those shooting skills as well to improve his finishing even more. And to be honest, if you're not that bothered about crossing and you think the passing is fine for a winger, which I would say it is, you can very easily get his finishing up to 90. 90 finishing on a winger. That's not bad at all. He's got some kicking power as well behind his shots. I think this for me is the dark horse out of the selection. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's for everyone. Like I say, if you like your silky smooth dribblers, he's perhaps not going to be your guy, even though he's not bad on the ball. He just doesn't quite have that juice. But if that's not what you want from your wingers, if you like wingers to have a bit of end product, then yeah, like I say, from personal experience, it can be very decent. That finishing, because I use manual shooting, that doesn't really apply to me. But if you don't use manual shooting, this guy's got really good finishing for a winger. So yeah, as a right winger, a little bit different to what most people like, I think it's fair to say, but very, very effective in my experience. A very good solid card this. In terms of other positions, like I say, through the middle, Fiore as a centre midfielder, I think is absolutely just dumb. It's just, I say it all the time, and you've got a midfielder who's so good at going forward, he's rubbish defensively, especially with the whole player playing style. I just think it's just stupid playing with a centre mid. You lose out on the points that you bit on defending to try and make him better at defending when he's still going to be terrible. Just focus on what he's good at, playing further up the pitch, make him an attacking midfielder, get rid of those points off defending. Thank you very much. And then you can get his passing up. You got up to 12 in passing, use one of these boosters and nudge it up to 90 if you want, very easy. Again, I mean, you've got technique, where's technique there? You've got offense creator, you've got a load of boosters that can get his low pass up to 90. He's really good on the ball there, very comfortable, even if he's not the juiciest dribbler. That attacking awareness I'd like to be a bit higher, so I'll just do that, and then I'll do that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Wouldn't do a great deal more, to be honest. It would be nice if we get that finishing up a little bit, but you got to get that passing up as an attacking mid. He's still over 80 for finishing. He's got those shooting skills. So yeah, as an attacking midfielder, good. Is he incredible? No, but certainly good. Like I say, with some kind of boost, he can get you can nudge some of his stats up, especially low pass. I wonder if there's one we can get low pass and balance to go up by 1. I'm sure there is. I can't be. I mean, there's so many now. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 3,000. There's loads. But yeah, you can nudge 1, 2 stats up if you want to as well. But very capable as an attacking mid. With a lot of players in attacking mid, especially when you convert a winger to an attacking mid, you've got to keep an eye on the physical contact, because a lot of players like that, they'll be around sort of 60, mid 60s maybe. But this guy with no points on physical contact, 74. It's not bad. He's not exactly a physical beast, but that's not bad for an attacking mid. So yeah, you've got some end product, bit of pace. He's definitely comfortable on the ball. 80 attacking wise is not amazing, but with the whole player playing style, it's fine. He's going to make some good attacking moves. If you like him as an attacking mid, you don't fancy him as a winger. Very capable as an attacking mid as well. And as I touched on earlier, left wing forward, so he won't have an active playing style there. I've played players in all positions with an active playing style. It's fine. There are some people who really don't like it. If you don't like it, so be it. But I've never seen a problem with it. They don't just stand around. They still make movements. It's fine. And I will eventually, as I keep saying, I will get further up the pitch. I've covered centre backs, full backs, and defensive midfielders so far. I will get onto all the other positions eventually. I'll try and get onto that in the new year and really prove how they behave without an active playing style. But like I say, in my experience, wide forward, they're fine. And what you can do if you do position train this guy to make him a wide forward, you can get his finishing back up to 90. You can make him lovely on the ball. I mean, 2 points spare there. Just do that, I think. And if you don't think that's good as a left wing forward, you must have some really good left wing forwards, because that's great. Could we get that balance up to 90? Probably. He could dip on the passing. We're not too bad about the passing. Get that to 90. And you got 5 points left. One more on shooting, and then there's loads you could do. Bit more speed. Got another one on shooting. 92 for finishing. You don't often get finishing that high on a winger. So yeah, and like I say, if you're looking at him and you think you don't fancy him as a right footer on the right, he doesn't look like the best dribbler, for whatever reason you don't fancy him on the right hand side. If you like an inverted winger, cutting your side into the stronger foot from left wing forward, it's totally there. 103. That's a good kind of rough guide at least. You've got the pace, the finishing 92. He's got a bit of curl, 90 kicking power. Long range curl, long range shooting, rising shots, first time shot. He's got the shooting skills. His passing is still fine for a wide man. Good on the ball. Yeah, that is a good option as a left wing forward. Like I say, with all these guys, depends who you're comparing him to, what options you got there. But if you don't fancy him on the right, position training him for the left wing forward, he could be really, really tidy. So, like I say, in my opinion, I think this card out of all the 7 is the dark horse. I think a lot of people, when they look at the pack, they'll take one look and say, "Oh, Fiore, don't fancy that. What I want a right-footed winger for? He's not good at crossing." Da da da. He could be very decent right, left, or centre. Like I say, in my personal experience, has he got that juice on the ball? Not really, but he's still decent on the ball. But he makes good movements for me. He's quick. He's got end product, and he's been really effective. And for a freebie, I'm well happy with mine. So yeah, if you don't fancy any of the cards in the pack, take a proper look at Fiore, because you might just find there's some kind of build for some kind of position where he could be effective for you. For the Italian League Challenge as well, he's an option for that. So yeah, not going to be everyone's pick, this guy, but I do think he's a bit of a dark horse. I do think whatever way you train him, right, left or centre, for a fair few people, he could be a pretty handy one to pick up. Right, we got 2 centre forwards now. Let's start with Daniele Massaro. So face scan, Fox in the box centre forward. So we've got 1 Fox and 1 goal poacher. Again, unwavering. Are they all unwavering? Pretty two-footed. Permanent B, so the unwavering doesn't matter. What's the stupid fake booster? Those stats are those numbers. They're never not boosted. So yeah, those are stats. Skill-wise, we've got a pretty good selection, as you probably expect from a legend centre forward. So you've got first time shot, you've got long range curl, long range shooting, got acrobatic, heading and aerial, even though he's not the tallest. Fighting spirit. No passing, that's all he's really lacking. He's got just about everything. Has he got all the shooting skills? Dipping, rising, all the shooting skills except knuckle shot, I think. So yeah, for a goal scorer, just about everything you need. Just could do with maybe some passing skills. Yeah, the passing's not amazing, but you've got most of the skills you'd want. Certainly all the shooting skills you'd want apart from knuckle shot. Well, let's jump over to the hub. Let's train him up. So fully boosted Massaro. Yeah, it looks decent. I think like with Fiore, this is one people are going to take one look at the pack and maybe just glance over him and just think, don't know, Massaro, that's not really what I want. But he's decent. He's certainly decent. The awareness and finishing are pretty decent. To be honest, you know what? He's not that amazing. He's not the quickest. His passing is not great. He's not that great on the ball. He's a fox in the box member. I think most people would probably agree for fox in the box, you need him to be a bit better on the ball because they will get involved in the build-up at times. They're not just darting in behind the defence all the time. They will kind of hold off and be available for a pass into feet and stuff. But yeah, not brilliant on the ball. The passing as well. Not a great deal of speed. Not a great deal of kicking power. Quite physically strong. The balance is all right. He does have qualities. Certainly not going to say this is a bad card, but I think for one of these double booster epic legend types, it's not the most exciting. I think that's fair to say. It's going to depend how you want to use him. For me personally, I like the fox in the box playing style on a striker when I'm putting cross into the box. But even though he's got heading and aerial and 90 for jumping, the vertical reach is 268, which is not amazing. It might not be disastrously bad, but he's not going to be dominant in the air. When you're up against tall centre backs, they're going to win most of the headers. So yeah, if you can put a cross on his head, he's going to be decent. Not amazing, but decent. But he's not going to be dominating aerial duels, certainly. If that's the case, where's he going to be dominant? What's he going to be amazing at? Running behind the defence with 84 speed? No, probably not. And what's his build-up play going to be like, or hold-up play? You know, when he kind of takes the pass into feet, holds the ball up, bringing people into play. Yeah, not amazing. So yeah, he's not looking too amazing. Let's just try 1-2 builds though. Let's start by seeing how high he can get a jump in. Can we make him half decent in the air since he does have air superiority? Just see if we can make him crossband ready. I mean, you can get the jumping up to what, 98. Jump height 273.3. So does that make him dominant in the air? No, he's still not dominant in the air. It's not going to make that much difference. Is it worth scrimping those points from elsewhere to do that? No. So I'll take those points back. He's not going to be one for the cross spammers. It's nice to get his physical up to 90 at least. And I guess it's kind of nice to have his heading at 90. There are a lot of strikers in the game who you can make them really good at heading. The perfect example is Van Basten. I remember using Van Basten with my co-op buddy a while back. We had him up front, we were trying to spam crosses in for him, and he was just absolutely horrific in the air. I swear every header went ballooning over the bar. He had like 90 something for heading. Just pathetic. So yeah, is it nice to get his heading up to around the 90 mark? Yes, but is it going to make a difference? Well, based on my experience with Van Basten, possibly not. But you could do that if you really want to make him physically and aerially a bit stronger. Still got 6 points there. I would personally look to try and get him not just a bit more speed, but a bit more kicking power. Yeah, so just that. You could use a booster. Shooting, I think, gives you kicking power, doesn't it? It should do. Yeah, so you can get up to the 90 mark if you really want to hit that 90 mark as well. Quite easy with the boost to get that finishing up as well. So yeah, you might want to make him physically aerially stronger, and you can still make him decent elsewhere. But for me personally, I don't think it's really worthwhile trying to make him that much stronger in the air. And I think with just 4 on aerial, 86 physical contact is fine. So then, I mean, it's a question of what else you're going to do. If you want to focus on his pace and being able to get in behind the defence and take chances, then let's go up to 12 lower body. Let's take everything off aerial. And then, I mean, if you really want to hit that 9 mark on speed, you need a booster. There's a few boosters you can do that with. Outside of that, I mean, I'll probably just nudges. Yeah, I'll just something like that, I think. He's still not got electric pace. He's got pretty good pace. Anything around the 90 mark is decent, but if you really want to be, you know, deadly, had to have deadly pace to get in behind the defence, then you might want a bit more than that. So yeah, again, would that work better for you if you prefer to put, you know, if you want to use him in that way rather than putting crosses in for him? Then yeah, but still, he doesn't look that amazing. Decent, but yeah, not amazing. It's quite interesting to put him in the pack with Inzaghi, actually, because I don't think he offers that much that Inzaghi doesn't, and vice versa. Just different playing styles more than anything. But yeah, we'll do one more build, just see if we can make him a bit better with his hold-up play, make him a bit better on the ball. So just keep his shooting down at the 90 mark, and dexterity will nudge down slightly. And then we don't need quite as much speed if you're going to... In fact, I'll leave 90 or kicking power, just if he's going to crack a couple of shots off from distance. And then we'll just nudge his passing up a little bit. Yeah, that's about what you can do, isn't it? Really got one spare, stick it in aerial. Is he going to be that much better on the ball? not really. Certainly a bit, certainly better. Yeah, he does look decent there, to be fair. I think personally that's the build I think I would go with, because like I say, a fox in the box they will hold back a bit. They won't be just darting into the box straight away as soon as you get in possession. They make their runs into the box a bit later, so they will be involved in the build up a little bit more. So I do think it's worth making them a bit more comfortable on the ball. A few more points on the passing there. It's getting 70 plus at least. Still not amazing. You might want to give him one touch and 3 if you put skills on him. But he's still got the awareness and finishing 90 plus. Bit of pace, bit of kicking power, which is important. That will help with the shooting. And then he's still got a bit of physical strength and a bit of balance. But yeah, I think it's fair to say with this guy, doesn't look amazing. He's probably going to be one of the least popular in the pack. And when you've got Pippo and Inzaghi in the pack, I'm not sure why you'd really want this guy unless you really like a fox in the box. And to be fair, if I was choosing between this guy and Inzaghi, I'd be tempted. I do prefer a fox in the box, and I do still have the free Atalanta Inzaghi as well, to be fair. But yeah, we'll come to Inzaghi in a moment. But yeah, this guy, a few ways you can build him. You can certainly make him good in every way, but again, it's a question of what you're comparing him to. Is he good compared to your strikers? He might be, if you're free to play, certainly. But if you've got a lot of legend strikers, yeah, I don't know how far down the pecking order this guy is going to end up, because whatever way you train this guy, yes, he might be pretty good, but he's not amazing. And for a double booster legend type of card, yeah, like I say, I think he's probably one of the less popular on the pack, but he does have a bit of everything. There's a few ways you can train him. He's certainly a decent one, and to be honest, if I got him from a free spin, I'll be very happy. I'll definitely try him out, give him a go. Could be a nice option to put in my squad now and then, but in terms of coming into your squad and becoming one of your first choice strikers, not sure that's going to be the case for many people. So yeah, a few ways you can make him very decent. For the Italian League Challenge, certainly for free to play players, could be a very useful option, but I don't think he's one of the more appealing ones in the pack, to be honest. So on to our other striker, and the last one out of the selection, it's Pippo. We got Pippo Inzaghi from when he was at Juventus. Got face scan, of course, goal poacher. So Massaro is a fox in the box. We've got a goal poacher centre forward as well. Reasonably two-footed. Only standard form. There we go. So we've got one who's not got unwavering form. To be honest, like I said, I prefer, if it's a legend with permanent B form, I like inconsistent because they seem to get more blues. I would take standard over unwavering as well, because I feel like standard gets more kind of up arrows than yellow compared to unwavering as well. It doesn't make a huge difference though. What's the fake boost to give us here? Acceleration, that's either offensive awareness or something like that. Striker's instinct, there you go, that's close enough. Anyway, what skills we've got on Pippo? Heading, and then we got long-range curler, rising shot, long-range shooting. Has he got? Yes, he's got phenomenal finishing. Okay, so we've got another one with a showtime skill. Is that 3 in the pack with a showtime skill? So yeah, phenomenal finishing on Pippo. That's the perfect one to give him, because that's all he really did. He's just all about getting into position and scoring. First time shot, long-range curler, long-range shooting. So you got a whole load of shooting skills and heading. You got one touch pass. There's a nice little bonus there. Fighting spirit as well. That's a good one to have on any player. Yeah, good selection of skills for a goal poacher, really. So let's go and train him up. How good is Pippo? He's good. Again, though, he's not amazing, but Pippo is Pippo. You know what he's going to be good at. And if this is going to be realistic, then you know what you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for 99 attacking awareness. Correct. And then finishing 93. Is it quite as high as it could be for Pippo? Perhaps not, but it's certainly high enough. He's got good finishing there. He's got amazing acceleration. Speed's not amazing though. For a goal poacher, you might want to try and nudge that speed up a bit. We'll see what we can do in a moment for that. He's not amazing on the ball. You do feel that. I've tried Pippo before. I've tried multiple versions of him. He does not feel great on the ball. He's not going to be one for the dribblers, certainly. If you like your goal poach to be able to kind of run rings around defenders, not going to be your guy. He's a little bit clunky. He's not smooth on the ball, but for getting into good positions to take chances, that's what he's all about. Like I say, the awareness is absolutely insane. He's gonna be in the right place at the right time just about every time, and he's gonna be the quickest to react to just about everything in the box. And he's got the finishing as well to be able to take his chances when the ball does come to him. So if that's what you want from your poacher, could be a very interesting option. Could be a very good one. Just like I say, I'd like a little bit more speed on. Oh, and of course my phone's going off because I'm doing a video. Yeah, I would like a little bit more speed on a goal poacher. So. Let's just shuffle a few points around, shall we? So let's just we get 3 points straight away from shooting. That's easy. It almost feels sacrilegious to go below 99 attacking awareness on Pippo, but Sir Alex Ferguson did once famously say he was born offside, so he doesn't need 99. We need to keep it realistic. It's got to be a bit below 99. Let's go down. Let's go all the way down to 8 in dexterity, because 95 is still fantastic, isn't it? And you still have a 90 for acceleration. And let's beef his speed up. Bang! There you go. We've got 3 points left. Happy days. This person is going to be absolutely awful no matter what. So let's take that 1 point back from there. And let's go on to dribbling. Well, you could go on physical, actually. Let's go on dribbling for now. Let's forget the physical. Okay, so this first build, this will be our goal poacher build. This will be getting in behind the defence and just taking chances. Make him a bit more confident on the ball. 2 left. Stick that on dribbling as well, shall we? Yeah, you just want to get him in behind the defence and take chances. Pace, yep. Awareness, hell yeah. Finishing, yeah. Kicking power behind the shots, yeah. Made him a bit more comfortable on the ball. Just a bit lacking in balance and can't pass the ball to save his life. But he's Pippo, you can forgive him. He's got all those shooting skills and phenomenal finishing. As a straight up goal poacher who's just going to get into the box and take chances, that could be a very nice build. I do think it's worth giving that bit more speed and kicking power at the expense of a bit of dexterity, which you can afford, albeit, like I say, he does lose a bit of balance, but he does have phenomenal finishing. If you try and kind of snatch at your shots and try and get your shots away in a bit of a rush when he's not quite got his balance right, you've got phenomenal finishing to save you. So yeah, that for me, I think is probably the build I'd go for if I want to use him as a real out-and-out poacher. But like I say though, you could do one or two other builds. So if you wanted to make him a bit better in the air, again, like with Massaro, he's only 5'11". Jumping is not great. What's that vertical reach? 258.1. Awful. So yeah, for cross spamming, he's not going to be brilliant. But if you did want to make him a bit better in the air, at least a bit more competent, let's just take a bit back off the dribbling there. How good can we make him in the air? Can we make him decent in the air? We can make him decent. 2 more points. Gets dribbling to 80. Yeah, so you can get him over 80 at least. You can get him 80 plus for physical contact, jumping and heading. Still, that vertical reach, as you see there, we've only gained about 5 centimetres there. Even with aerial superiority, if you gave him that, is he going to be dominant in the air? No, absolutely not. But when you do put a cross on his head, he'll be decent. Not amazing, you know, none of those aerial stats are amazing, but he will be a bit more capable. So you could do that. Still got great awareness there and finishing. He's still at 90 plus for your speed, acceleration and your kicking power. That could be a decent build for you. Nice all-round build for you there. In terms of that booster, you know, I don't like to. I've said it a million times. I'm not that bothered by the boosters, and there are so many now. And the way the boosters now are almost guaranteed to give you something at least somewhat useful. I mean, I'll just skim through them now. Accuracy, aerial. What else you got? Balancer? No, we don't want that one. Ball carrying might help. He's not great on the ball. Breakthrough. What else you got? Fantasista Pippo? Anyone? No? Off the ball, offense great. There's so many. What do you want to boost? I mean, there's one I think that can give you physical contact and balance. Those are 2 that you could do with maybe boosting a bit. Was that breakthrough? I think I looked at that earlier. No? I forget what it was now. There's one down here I think as well that was quite decent. Off the ball, offense. And there's loads. Just look at that one. Maybe it's physicality. That could be a decent one for Pippo actually. So yeah, there's a few boosters you can give him. Again though, with boosters these days, I'll just throw some randoms at him. The likelihood is it'll only take you a few and you'll get something at least that's somewhat relevant. There's nothing where he's desperately lacking, and if he is desperately lacking, +1's not going to fix him, is he? Is it? Because it's not going to make that much difference. But yeah, you've certainly got a very, very useful goal poacher here, whatever build you give him. Like I say, personally, I mean, to be honest, I'll probably go with this. I was going to go with the one where I had 92 speed, 92 kicking power, getting a few more points on the aerial and physical strength, making that a little bit better in the air. I quite like that, because even though I don't personally put like crosses anymore, the ball will pop up sometimes, every now and then for a header, and he will be that bit more capable of scoring a header for you. So it's up to you really. Different ways you can do it. Like I say, I'm going to leave him on auto allocation here because a lot of people will go with that, because that attacking awareness is absolutely insane. Like I say, he'll be in the right place at the right time every time. He'll always pop up and be able to, you know, react quickest, and he's got the ability with his finishing and the skills, including phenomenal finishing, of course, to take a lot of chances for you. So yeah, if you like your goal poachers just to be able to get on the end of things and put the ball in the net, he could be a fantastic choice for you. But like I say, there are 1 or 2 weaknesses. He's not going to feel brilliant on the ball. He can't pass to save his life. You might want to nudge his speed up and maybe his kicking power as well. But it's a Pippo card. It's certainly a pretty good one. And I think for a fair few people, it could be a pretty appealing card. So there are your legend options. Hopefully you'll all get at least one lucky spin. You won't end up having to choose only one. It'd be nice if you get more than one. I remember one of these. The one where we had Belletti and David Villa, I was choosing between those 2. I couldn't choose who to pick, and then with my very last free spin, I think it was, I got Belletti. So I chose David Villa. I was very lucky. Hopefully that happens for some of you guys as well. But if you're just choosing one, some decent choices. Like I say, Oliver Kahn for a legend keeper. Is he amazing? No, the stats aren't quite on the level of what the paid goalies seem to have been in recent times. But if you don't have a legend keeper, if you're free to play especially, and you don't have any goalkeepers that are on that kind of level, certainly with permanent B form, that is a good goalie card. Maybe not one of the best, but it's definitely a good one. And he's got that spirit raw skill, whatever the hell that means. Increased physicality. But yeah, Kahn could be a solid goalie option for some people. Then the two defensive options, you've got Albert Ferrer, tiny centre-back, but he's rapid. In some situations, could be a really, really effective centre-back. But he is also a right-back. That's what he was in real life. And as an attacking right-back or a defensive right-back, could be a very, very decent option for you. Can use him in the Spanish League challenge, whereas Kahn's not got a league challenge. Could even make for a defense midfielder at a push. And Zanetti, great, solid fullback. He's got Fortress. Could make him a sneaky centre-back. Maybe he's at a stretch. Defensive mid can be very solid. Could make him a centre midfielder or a right or left midfielder, maybe. But certainly as a fullback primarily. Good solid card with a showtime skill. I think that's I would guess that's probably the most popular choice. I think most people will probably choose him more than anyone else. Certainly is going to be my choice, but there are other good choices in there. Got two midfielders, Xabi Alonso. I think primarily for the fact that we've had a few free Xabi Alonsos up to this point, it's probably one of the least interesting choices. I think a lot of people groaned when they saw that he was in the pack again, but if you've not got a Xabi Alonso card and you like the guy, or if you want a midfielder who's going to be able to kind of play mate from deep, and do the kind of orchestrator role and have a really good passing and so on, that's exactly what you're going to get from him. I would say he feels a little bit clunky, but that's not to say he's not a good card. He's obviously a good card. He's got absolutely fantastic passing and he can defend as well. He's got some really good defensive stats depending how you train him. Just you do need to get his stamina up, don't you? Stamina and balance, I think it was, but yeah, for somebody it could still be a very good card, even though for a lot of people that's probably one of the least exciting options in there. Fiore, I think that's the dark horse in the pack. I think that's probably the one that most people will overlook. Right-footed right midfielder who's not great at crossing, but you've got to look beyond that. He's a very interesting one. I've got him. He's been very good for me. He's not the silkiest on the ball. He's not really got that juice for the dribbling, but you could give him 1-2 skill moves. He is still good on the ball, but he's got good movement. He's got good end product, and you can make him a very capable attack midfielder. And I would say you can make him a very decent left wing forward as well, with some very good shooting on him. So yeah, don't sleep on Fiore. Take a good look. I think it could be a decent one for a fair few people. And then you've got two strikers. Inzaghi is just Inzaghi. Is he going to be much of a dribbler? No. Can he pass the ball? No. But can he get into the right positions and take chances for you? Hell yeah. He's Pippo Inzaghi and he's got phenomenal finishing. So you just want someone to get on the end of things and put the ball in the net. That could be a very nice choice. And then Massaro, is he worse than Inzaghi now? I mean, he's +1 at level 1 apparently. But yeah, whatever way you train Massaro up, he doesn't look that exciting, but he is still a solid one. Kind of reminds me a bit of Xavier, the Atalanta striker. When he came out and he kind of looked similar, he just kind of looked okay, just didn't look that amazing. And Massaro kind of looked similar, you know, Fox in the box, got a bit of everything, but whatever way you train him, there's one or two areas where maybe there's like a few stats be a bit higher. So he's not the most exciting one, but it looks like he's probably going to be a bit more comfortable on the ball than Pippo. I'll give him that, and certainly Fox in the box is a preferable playing style for some people. So certainly not a bad one, but maybe it's not the most exciting one in the pack, but. Yeah, on the whole, is it the most exciting selection of legends for one of these free choices? No, I think it's probably a little bit on the disappointing side, but that's probably being. I mean, I don't want to sound entitled. At the end of the day, we didn't used to get these choices. It used to just be a pack with a few legends in. They give us a bunch of spins and say good luck, and a lot of the time you wouldn't get anything, and that was really not very good. Whereas now we do get these selection contracts, so we actually get to guarantee. You know, if we play the game enough and we get all the free spins, and then we get the selection contract, we're guaranteed a free legend. So I don't think we can complain. It's better than it used to be. I think for the vast majority of the player base, there'll be at least one card in there you get a fair amount of use from. For me personally, like I say, I want Zanetti. I'll be very pleased when I get my Zanetti. And if I get him from a free spin, I'll probably go for... I don't know. I'm not sure who else I want, really. Yeah, it's not the most exciting selection, but it's decent enough. Like I say, I think most people will find at least one in there that they'll like, and I think I would guess that Zanetti and Pippo are probably the two most popular ones, but... let me know who you think is good in the pack. Let me know who you're going to choose. Let me know if you've been lucky already and got one from a free spin. This will probably be my last video before Christmas. I think it almost certainly will, because I'm heading off, going to go away, see family for Christmas. So I won't be doing Player of the Week this week. I won't be doing anything until I'm back. I'm going to be back, I think, late next Sunday. If assuming everything goes to plan, I think on the Monday the 29th I'll try and do a stream and we'll just do a bunch of spins. I might even start my divisions grind for Tonali. There's something to look forward to, so you can watch me screaming and crying at all the smart assist people ruining my life. But yeah, that'll be when I'm back. So look forward to a stream hopefully on that Monday. If you're not in the Discord, jump into the Discord. And in the meantime, I wish you all an absolutely fantastic festive season. I hope you and your loved ones will have a great time, get some lovely presents from Santa Claus. And thank you very, very much for all of your support, for watching, for commenting, and all the rest this year on the channel. Really appreciate it. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Have a good one, and I will see you soon. Bye!